Okay, so here we are. This is Joy Truscott and Leela Verity, and we just thought we will be playing around a little bit with Google Hangout, but at the same time, we also want to just talk to you a little bit about how we would connect with our higher awareness or our higher self. Now, Leela does a great deal of teaching and a lot of within the way that she presents her life and the way she connects with other people. But one of the gifts that Leela brings is the ability to hold groups where people come in and do centering prayer. And maybe this will really understand how we can be quiet and be still. And I thought I could ask Leela if she would tell us a little bit about how she runs the groups or how she connects in with her inner quietness all on her own, perhaps.
Hi, Joy. It's nice to be with you. What I'm going to talk about then a little bit is, it's called Centering Prayer. It's a Christian name. It's actually the same as meditation. So it's a way of connecting with our inner stillness, because it's only within the context of that inner stillness that you're going to actually be able to hear the voice of God speaking to you, or the voice of your higher self, or your greater wisdom, or your intuition. And we all want to access that part of ourselves, because that is where we can get our guidance to live well, and it's where we can be nourished in our lives. But the problem is that most of us, when we want to look within, because generally our awareness is focused externally. So the minute we close our eyes and we try to turn our awareness into the interior of ourselves, we become aware of how noisy our minds are. And perhaps, during the course of the day, you're not so much aware of this because you're not paying attention to it. But as what we call mindfulness, you become more aware of the inner chatter that's going on in your head. And this chatter is like a radio station that is turned on 24 hours a day, and it's on, and it's constantly evaluating, judging, criticizing, bringing up memories from our past, or projecting things into the future. And in the midst of all this noise, it's very difficult to try and actually experience any stillness or any silence at all. And that's why we are given meditation techniques, or techniques that we can use in centering prayer. And I'll just briefly tell you about one of them, which people can try and see if it helps them to quieten down what we call the monkey mind, that's jumping from one thought to the next. So when we do centering prayer, the first thing is to find an environment where you can be undisturbed, where your cell phone is switched off, where no one is going to disturb you, that your exterior space is as conducive and quiet as possible for you to go into yourself without the fear of being disturbed, because you need to be able to relax into that quiet space within. And make it a pretty environment, that you're comfortable, that your body is at ease. And then you simply close your eyes, because that shuts out, a lot of people are very visually distracted. So it's a good idea, especially for beginners, to close your eyes so you blocking out the visual input. And also it makes it easier for you to turn your awareness inside yourself. And then the next thing that you do is that you become aware of your breathing. And just notice how the breath flows into your body and how the breath flows out of your body, and the spaces in between the in-breath and the out-breath. Just bring your attention to rest very gently on your breathing. And a technique that they use in centering prayer, which can be quite helpful, it's similar to a technique which is used in meditation, but it's a little bit different. And sometimes in meditation, they use a mantra. Now, the purpose of this is to focus your thoughts. So instead of thinking about what somebody said to you that upset you the day before, and how you need to deal with it, and how you need to respond to them, and how angry they made you, or what you need to do, and the list of activities which is never ending. So instead of thinking about those things, you focus your thoughts on one thing. So some people, that they will use a mantra. and they will repeat this mantra over and over again. But in centering prayer, we don't so much repeat it. You will focus your attention on a word. We call it a sacred word. So you can choose any word that is meaningful to you. For example, you can choose the word God, Abba, Father, Spirit, joy, peace, love, Jesus, whatever word you resonate with. And every time your mind starts to wander, you bring that word to mind. So you're not repeating it over and over again like a mantra. So for example, say you've chosen the word Abba, which means father. You're not sitting there saying Abba, 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 as you would with a mantra.
Right.
It's only when you get distracted and carried away with your thoughts that you cut that train of thought and you replace it with the word Abba, because your mind cannot think of two things at the same time. So you're replacing the distracting thoughts with the sacred word. And your intention is then to focus on the sacred word, which connects you with your purpose. And your purpose is to connect with the divine within and to stop listening to all this blah, blah, blah going on in your head. So you use the sacred word to help the other thoughts to quieten down, and you'll find that eventually your mind will start settling on the sacred word. And you will then maybe start experiencing some gaps of silence in between. And it's in those silent gaps that you can actually hear the voice of the divine, which is distinguishable quite clearly from your own thoughts. You're very familiar with your own thoughts. So that is how you pick up that still small voice within you. And this is what we try and cultivate, to be in touch with that inner divine voice, that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, but also to be in touch with that divine presence, because it is a presence. So it doesn't even have to take the form of words. It can simply be a feeling of grace or silence or peace that you're connecting with. And that is extremely nurturing to your spirit. It's like food for your spirit. And we live and we feed our bodies all the time, and a lot of people overfeed their bodies, but we don't feed our spirits, and our spirits go hungry and they're desperate for this inner connection. So it's something that people should try to cultivate and try to do every day.
Oh, that is so perfect, Leela. And these are gifts that really help us to expand our awareness and to come into that deep divine inner connection. And I actually feel that if we are able to find space and time and give this gift to ourselves, that everything around us seems to get so much better, because we're centered, we're connected, we're in thoughtfulness about our own being, our words, our actions. I think the world can just become a much better place when we are centered, connected, and aware. What a gift. So maybe you'll consider giving a little space to yourself and finding time to give this divine gift to your spirit and to awaken the awareness that is really asking for you to become more present. So may that gift be yours. And I thank Leela for stepping in for a few moments and sharing this wisdom. And Leela, before we go, just won't you tell us when next you are having a centering prayer, or how people can connect with you if they should wish to become part of that little focus group?
Well, we run weekly teachings. I run a spiritual center in Plettenberg Bay called Benedictus Deus. And we have weekly teachings on a Tuesday evening, which always start off with a period of centering prayer, usually 15 to 20 minutes. And then it's followed by a teaching and then a sharing and discussion. Anybody, obviously you have to be local to the area, is welcome to join. We also do regularly give centering prayer workshops. We had one last month in Knysna, and the next workshop is planned. I operate within the Garden Route area. The next workshop is planned on the 21st of May. It will take place in Oudtshoorn, and anybody is welcome to contact me if they would like further details for that.
And to contact you would be at the website
Benedictus Deus, or you can email me on leela@global.co.za, and I'll happily give you information.
That's lovely. And then Leela, for people who are from out of town, I know you also have a retreat center, which we should just mention, right? And maybe for those who want to do their inner work, their own personal inner work, there is space for you to come and do that maybe as a weekend. There's a gorgeous little chapel on site and many resources, and it's a quiet space to really start or jumpstart maybe this divine connection. So lots of resources, and if you need any more help or want to connect with either of us, of course, you are so welcome. So may you be blessed as you journey onward in this glorious and wonderful life.
Thank you, Joy.
Thanks, Leela, for being here. So super.